Hello, YouTube. This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to the Hood Astro Queen, to all of my returning subscribers. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, be sure to hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. And today I will be doing yet another celebrity birth chart reading on Miss Jayda Cheaves. I think her name is pronounced. It could be Jayda Cheaves. I don't know. I don't know much about her. I'm just recently kind of learning who she is and where she fits into all of this like celebrity news and whatnot, as she has recently been in the media. Okay, she's been on a lot of blog sites and she's been making a lot of headlines, primarily due to her lawsuit against Walgreens. She's suing them for $30 million. So for those of y'all who aren't aware, she's actually the girlfriend to Atlanta-based rapper Lil Baby. They have a son together. However, back, I don't know, I guess a few years ago, she got into a beef or some type of situation with his first baby mother, in which the baby mom went online and revealed, like, I guess it was a Walgreens medical, I don't know, like receipt or something, but she basically plastered Jayda's Walgreens prescription or something like that on the internet, in which it read that she had herpes and vaginal discharge, and I mean just all of her medical information just for plain for everybody to see, right? And of course, Jayda denied that those things were true. She claimed that it was edited, photoshopped. Those images were false. And today she is going back and actually suing Walgreens, as she should, because regardless as to whether the information was true or false, I'm trying to figure out how Walgreens, like where they come into the fold. Like, how were they able to disclose her personal records? Because that's illegal all day long. So, you know, I hope she wins that. But outside of that, she has a very large following. I believe she owns her own boutique. And yeah, she just seems to be very popular. Like I said, her name is surrounded in a lot of drama, especially by way of the relationship that she's had with Lil Baby's first baby mother. And I believe she even called the girl's son ugly, which is essentially like, that's the man that you love and you're calling his son ugly too, but whatever. Okay. And but nonetheless, people love her, and she's a beautiful girl, very beautiful. And to be so young, like, she's 21, she's accomplished a lot. So I thought that this would be a fitting reading. And I guess if I feel like it towards the end, I'll jump into Lil Baby's chart too, because that man is retarded. Did y'all see that interview of him where he was twitching his shit at the radio station? I'm going to put it in my description box. Y'all, I'm going to drop the link down. Y'all look at it. It has nothing to do with astrology. This is just neither here nor there. But that shit scared me. I'm like, my nigga need to lay off the mollies. Whatever the fuck you popping, bro. They getting the best of you. Like, it's embarrassing. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Jayda's chart, shall we? So Jayda was born on September 25th, 1997 in Atlanta, Georgia, making her a Libra sun, Cancer moon. Now, she could also be a early degree Leo moon as well, which could make sense because it could produce somebody who has a lot of popularity and fame, which is very consistent with her and her brand, right? She's fairly popular, really popular, actually. I think she has like 2 million followers on Instagram. So somebody likes her. Now, her being a Libra sun explains a lot, in the sense that it could definitely produce a woman who is very much accommodating when it comes to her relationships, overly accommodating even, which is funny because she just recently caught a lot of backlash because of some statements she made in regards to her relationship. She basically stated that, you know, she expected him to cheat, in so many words. Like, okay, well, you know, he's young, we're not married, why wouldn't he cheat? And, you know, all men cheat, kind of thing. And a lot of people were outraged by it. Like I said, she caught a lot of flack for it. And although I personally kind of agree in a way with that sentiment, I think the basic understanding is she and a lot of women like her probably use that as an excuse to accept this kind of treatment or to justify bad behavior by men. And it's just weird. And then when somebody asked her if she cheated, she was like, no, I would never degrade myself. But it's like, so just like taking back a nigga who keeps cheating on you, that's not degrading yourself, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Nonetheless, a dark-sided Libra trait is codependency. It's definitely, as I stated before, over-compromising in relationships, as a lot of Libra women do have the tendency to be doormats with their partner. So it's like, side note, Lil Baby is a Sagittarius. I don't know why you Libra women insist on dating Sagittarius men. It's always a hot ass mess, i.e. Cardi B and Offset, i.e. Naja and Clarence. It's just too much. Anyway, so yeah, her being a Libra kind of made everything make sense to me. It could also produce or deal with her doing anything to keep the peace and accommodate her partner. That's very much dark-sided Libra energy. And, so, I guess, girl, if that works for you, that works for you. And it could also deal with her being prone to being involved in like legal action or courtroom affairs, which, as I stated before, she's going to sue Walgreens. And with her son forming a sextile to her Scorpio Mars, I'm inclined to believe that she's actually going to win. And then her son is forming a sextile to her Pluto at the 3rd degree of Sag. That number 3 can deal with luck, So it's like, I feel like she's going to win. I don't know if she's going to win the 30 million because, as most people know, a lot of people, when filing lawsuits, they aim high, and then maybe, she'll win 15 million or 10 million. 5 million even is a huge accomplishment. So yeah, she's going to be naturally lucky in this lifetime when it comes to like legal matters and affairs. So there's that. Also, with her Venus being in Scorpio, it does put her in a position to accumulate a lot of unearned income in this lifetime. So via child support, especially by way of her relationships, sweepstakes, or just like winning big, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to certain things. So I could definitely see her winning like a settlement or something. And so there's that. Her sun sextiling her Mars could also deal with her managing / owning her own business. Now, her Mercury is in Virgo, which, could make her mechanically inclined. It can give her a very analytical mind, but it could also deal with her helping a sibling or where she's receiving help from siblings. And I believe she's in business with her sister. I think that's y'all confirm in the comment section. And this, I'm really inclined to think that because her Mercury is sextiling her Venus, and that reinforces this theme of like collaboration, her working with her sister. That could deal with her being in the clothing business with her sister. So yeah, y'all clear that up for me, but it definitely appears to be that way. And then her Mercury is forming a quincunx to her Saturn in Aries, which could give Jayda some health issues, like surrounding breaking bones, as well as a lifetime of cuts and bruises and burns. She could be prone to getting some bad acne. This could also deal with her having issues with employees, like in the store. I don't know if that's ever happened, but there's that. And it could also point towards her having some type of rivalry or competition with her sister. There being struggles over who should be in charge or make important decisions and things of that nature. Now, get into her Venus in Scorpio, okay? So, this definitely has herpes, okay? Venus in Scorpio can produce a host of STIs and other vaginal irregularities in women. That's just being honest. And with her Mars in Scorpio, it kind of reinforces that energy as well. So it's like her dealing with men even men who are prone to cheating on her, sleeping around. And so there is a strong possibility that she could have contracted this by way of a very promiscuous partner, especially with her Mars conjoined to her Pluto in Sagittarius at the 3rd degree. That that Pluto in Sag, especially at the 3rd degree, the number 3 deals with recklessness, a lack of control even. So this could even reinforce her dealing with a very promiscuous partner of thought. And as I stated before, Lil Baby is a Sag. So, put that into perspective. So it's like, ooh, sorry about that, sis. So yeah. Now, also, her Venus is forming a quincunx to her Saturn, and her Saturn is at the 18th degree of Aries. Now, this could reinforce there being some type of issues with her vaginal area. I think in the screenshot that they show from Walgreens, it was like herpes, discharge, or whatever it was that she had going on, which is very, very personal. But yeah, like all that could definitely be true. Once again, Venus forming a quincunx to this Saturn in Aries, that could definitely be true. Not only could she have vaginal issues, they could probably bring her quite a large amount of pain and discomfort with this aspect. Like, I know that coochie is burning on fire, girl. And that number 18 also deals with punishment. It can also deal with hypersexualization. So either on her part or her, partner's part. I'm more inclined to believe her partner's part. So like, damn, girl, that Venus Scorpio can also deal with her engaging in love-hate relationships. It could also deal with her receiving a lot of hate from the public too. And that quincunx to Scorpio could even kind of like magnify that, intensify that, her receiving a lot of hate and a lot of you could even look at that as her receiving all of this backlash, people having very strong feelings about her. People either really like her or just really don't fuck with her and find her to be extremely problematic type of thing. It could also reinforce her having a very turbulent love life. Also, as I stated before, that Venus and Scorpio does produce infidelity issues. It could also make her attracted to bad boys. And so her Venus is also squaring her Jupiter, which is at the 12th degree of Aquarius. And this can make her an opportunist, somebody who operates based off of like ulterior motives, or could attract friends who do the same. This could deal with her facing lots of controversy by social media. I even look at this as her being exposed, like her health status, her vaginal health, or her sexual health status being exposed on the internet. Because Aquarius does deal with the internet, but Jupiter in Aquarius can deal with there being some type of truth being exposed that's very shocking. You know what I'm saying? So in square to her Venus in Scorpio, that could definitely be people putting her on Front Street about either things she said, done behind the scenes, or like I said, her just having an STD or something like that. So that's crazy. If I were her, I would be very, very careful about who I hung out around and who I considered to be my friend, because this getup can make her susceptible to a lot of that, like a lot of her being put on Front Street by friends. So whoever got a hold of that Walgreens screenshot, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually were inside of her actual friendship circle. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not just talking about it coming by way of an enemy. Like, I believe she could actually have friends who would turn on her and do little sneaky stuff like that. And, or she could be the type to do that too. This aspect could definitely go both ways. But either way, if I were her, I would be very careful. And her Uranus, which is also in Aquarius, is squaring her Chiron. So yeah, lots of scandal by way of social media, lots of scandal by way of friends, fake friends, phony friends. Girl, be very, very careful. Now, moving on to the baby, which I'm not even going to bother to pull up his chart because it's really not that serious to me. But I thought I should make it very clear that number one, he's a Sag. He's actually a double Sag because he's born on the 3rd of November. That number 3 is Sagittarius. And once again, it deals with lack of self-restraint, lack of self-control. So it's like, I mean, he's a thought all the way around. Like, he's a thought on top of being a thought because most Sagittarius men are thoughts. So it's just like, Lord have mercy. And on top of that, he has a Sagittarius stellium, okay? He's a Sag sun, moon, and Mercury. So in a man's chart, when you're talking about your moon sign, like, it's how you deal with women. Him being a Sag moon could absolutely deal with him needing various types of women. He has an insatiable appetite for women, all a variety. He needs variety. And he has the tendency to overdo it. His Venus is in Scorpio as well, which is leading me to believe that he potentially has herpes as well, or some type of, like I said, STI. I mean, it's speculative on my part, allegedly. I'm just saying this in order to protect myself, but I strongly feel like he does. It could also deal with him being very sexual, over sex. This is reinforced with his Jupiter. It's at the 28th degree of Scorpio. And that just deals with him, like I said, being just hyper sexual. It definitely brings forth that issue of cheating, that 28th degree, aka the anoretic degree. And it's forming a conjunction, an exact conjunction to his Pluto, him having lots and lots of sex. Like, it's crazy. His Venus is 1 degree off from the fixed star Toliman, which could deal with a person who encounters a lot of danger from love affairs, from having love affairs. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did actually have an affair and brought something back. You see what I'm saying? So he needs to be very careful. He's also a Leo Mars. With his Mars squaring his Jupiter and his Pluto, which reinforces him, like I said, having lots and lots of sex. That Mars squared Jupiter, I mean, that could just deal with a person who is, it's like they can never get enough. You know, your sexual desire is larger than life. You are just out of control. Out of control. And, you know, it also makes me wonder if he experienced some type of childhood trauma that led to him being so overly sex, you know, particularly with this Mars square Pluto aspect. That's a huge indicator of rape. And with his Mars being in Leo, Leo's the sign of children, even your own childhood, your youth. So like, and a lot of people who have Leo Mars, if it's afflicted, right, it can manifest in these people being exposed to sex very early, a lot earlier than they were probably supposed to. So I'm feeling like it's some trauma, some childhood trauma behind that, which sucks. But, you know, he needs to be careful, very careful. His Mars is conjoined to the fixed star Alfred, which deals with trouble and scandals by way of love affairs. So, like, he needs to watch what he's doing because he's liable to find himself in some fucked up situations. And so yeah, his Mercury also, by the way, is, which this is kind of, this has nothing to do with his relationship with Jayda. But his Mercury is 1 degree off from the fixed star A Crab, which deals with him not being that bright. It can give him difficulties with speech. So, you know, I'm thinking back to that interview where he was doing all this twitching. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with him? And we just kind of assumed it was the drugs, which it could be because his Mercury is squaring his Saturn and Pisces. So I'm either inclined to believe that he's just naturally slow. And then when you add the drugs to the equation, it can really bring out his, like, you know, his disorder, or I mean, I don't know if the boy has a disorder, but something is wrong with him mentally. He's kind of off. He's a little slow, and the drugs aren't helping at all. So, you know, poor thing. Now, getting into their synastry really quick, because I ain't trying to spend all day on these folks. Lil Baby's Venus is squaring what's her name? Jayda's Uranus, which I mean further reinforces him not really being a somebody who's committed. Like, it definitely makes their relationship very unstable, and it just gives him this need for freedom. He's always going to need to maintain his own freedom and do his own thing. You know what I mean? And then his Pluto is conjoined to her Mars, which makes their relationship very intense. Like I said, full of love, hate. And I'm also inclined to believe that he's controlling, and that there could even be a potential of some type of abuse in the relationship as well. I think his Mercury is squaring his Pluto, and like I said, his Pluto is conjoined to her Mars. So it's like, it's something there. It's something there. But yeah. That concludes my reading for Miss Ari and the baby. No, Lil Baby. Oh, Lord, I keep getting them so confused. And I'm really not supposed to, because the baby is my man. So, like, if I can't even get my man, like, I get my man mixed up with other people, what type of wife am I? Gosh. All right, y'all. I'm finna lay it on down. I don't know. I might record another video. Nonetheless, drop a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions, opinions on this particular reading. And yeah, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.